Hi all, welcome back. This is your Kitabaz host Saurabh and I'm back today with another video book review for you. For those of you who are new to our channel, please make time to subscribe using the icon below. And if you like the video, please make sure to give us a thumbs up. I know YouTube is not something which we are used to liking or commenting on, but as video creators, I can tell you that we certainly look forward to every like, every subscription, and every comment that you make. So while Kitabaz is my middle school going son's summer project, I do plan on regularly making videos here for self-help books, for management books, and some biographies that I like and read. So stay tuned for such videos in times to come. Today I'm going to talk about 13 things that mentally strong people don't do, and it is a book written by Amy Morin. Given that the world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, mental health is on everyone's mind, and therefore this book caught my attention on the Amazon Kindle link. Also, it's important for me to mention that this book is also part of the Amazon bestsellers book, and it features at number 2, which makes me feel that this is an important book in the current times. Let me start by telling you about the author Amy Morin. Amy is a certified psychotherapist, a psychology instructor, and rest assured, when you read this book, you're hearing from someone who is an expert in mental health and has been practicing for over 2 decades. Now, who all should read this book? In my assessment, this book is good for professionals, be it people who are team managers or even individual contributors. This also is a book that is very interesting for parents to read, and of course people who want to build on their mental health and overcome certain challenges definitely would find something of value. Last but not the least, even for students going to college, this could be an important book for them to follow. All in all, there's something or the other for everyone to follow from this book. Further on, I should also mention that 13 things that mentally strong people don't do is also a well-written book for another reason, which is that the examples provided in the book are that of commoners like most of us, and references to the big and famous are limited to a very small portion of the book and to highlight a particular key point. So it helps common readers develop a good connection with the stories and examples listed in the book. Another important thing that the title is conveying to me, 13 things that mentally strong people don't do, is urging the readers to consider changes in their behavior or in their approach such that it helps them upkeep or improve on their mental well-being. And this is an important topic that readers should keep in mind as and when they get their hands on this book. Lastly, Amy has provided these 13 rules in 13 different chapters, and all of these chapters, as I read it, I found them to be fairly independent of each other. So why I say this? The reason is, if you read the title of the chapter and you find that this is not a situation or a mental issue that applies to you, feel free to skip it and move on to the next chapter. Definitely there's something or the other that you will find of value and of help and you can relate with. So focus on those chapters rather than on every chapter. So let me start by sharing with you some snippets from my reading of the book. So Amy starts in the first chapter by sharing that mentally strong people do not feel sorry for themselves. Now, this is a very simple point, and if I think through, I have met several people both in work life as well as in my personal life who use this self-pity card more often than the rest of us. And as the author says, self-pity is equal to self-destruction. One can easily relate from the examples that Amy has given in the book in their personal life as well, and you will always see that people who follow this pattern of self-pity are on a downward spiral of self-destruction and negative feelings, and soon this pattern becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy which becomes a difficult mental situation to overcome. So in all, The author urges in the first chapter that people should stop wasting time in feeling sorry for themselves. Let's move forward to chapter number 10, and in this, the title of the chapter reads as Mentally Strong People Don't Give Up After Their First Failure. And this I found is a very impactful statement, and several examples and stories highlighted in the chapter are something which I could closely relate to. Importantly, also, there is a quote from Robert Kiyosaki, who is the famous Rich Dad Poor Dad author, that is covered in the first page of this chapter. And it reads as follows: Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure avoid success. What an impactful quote that is. The author has given several examples about failures, why we give up after the failure, and also beliefs that prevent us from trying after failure, which is an interesting perspective that I had seldom paid attention to. Another interesting perspective that the author has given is how we view failure is an important aspect for us to consider on. And that's very important if we have to change our reaction to failure and encourage ourselves to try again after the failure. To drive home this point, Amy has given the example of Elias Walt Disney, the famous creator of Mickey Mouse, who actually went on from one failure to another several times before he finally made Mickey Mouse and ran into a successful venture. Imagine if Elias Walt Disney would have given up after his first failure. We would have been living in a world without Disney World and the famous Mickey Mouse. In the chapter number 13, author talks about mentally strong people do not expect immediate results. And this was a chapter that I could quickly connect with for a simple reason. I am someone who is low on patience. And patience is an important virtue for mental health, and that's something which is conveyed through this chapter. In today's fast-paced world, patience is often considered as a sign of weakness or perhaps a sign of tardiness. The author has given a very close to heart example, that of parents, which I can relate to very easily, where children often embark on this attention-seeking mission by throwing tantrums if their wish is not granted. The moral of this concept is that people should be encouraged to dig in for a long haul, and of course, gratification, which is an important tenet, should be deferred as much as possible. Gratification sets in complacency, and with complacency, you are likely to get suboptimal in your efforts, and that could result in failure. I must also add, at the end of each of these 13 chapters, Amy has provided a very helpful tool for all readers. There is a listing of common traps you would fall into. There is also a listing of what could be a helpful indicator of making changes or actions to make that change in your mental behavior, and a listing of what is not so helpful behavior that you could showcase when you are wanting to make a change. Overall, I would rate this book a 5 on 5 star, for it is very well written. The choice of examples and the language is fairly easy for anyone to grapple with, and the way this is articulating people to practice some of these changes is fairly straightforward and easy to implement. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button. And of course, stay tuned for more videos from us on these lines. Bye for now.